Hello guys and welcome back to Premier League predictions. We are back yet again predicting the top flight of English football. And Sophie, where are we?
Yeah, you might have noticed we've got a different backdrop, and that's because I bought a house. It's a little bit different today.
Congratulations, by the way, Sophie. We are in Sophie's new house, which is quite interesting. Guys, let's go for some support on the Premier League predictions. 3,500 likes. Be sure to drop a like. Let us know your thoughts on the new backdrop and on the sound. It might be a little bit echoey because she's just moved in, but I'm sure we can make it sound better. Be sure to subscribe as well. Thank you for your great support. There's so much to talk about in the Premier League, so get involved, subscribe. We're this close to 95,000. And the scores from midweek, Sophie: Matt 13, Sophie 5.
Oh, that's dreadful. I knew you had a really good week, but that's poor from me.
I'm not even going to rub it in.
Well, you don't need to be honest.
It's just easy. Anyway, let's get into this week's predictions, Sophie. We start at Everton versus Arsenal. Now, Sophie, Everton lost the Merseyside derby 1-0 to Liverpool. They did finish the game with 11 players, which is quite impressive, considering Tarkowski did try and chop off Alexis McAllister's leg. They lost 1-0, Sophie. They did have a good chance with Beto. They should have got something really if you take that chance at 0-0. As for Arsenal, Sophie, Arsenal beat Fulham 2-1 as I predicted, and I think they're going to win 2-1 again. I think Everton are more competitive under David Moyes and they'll give this a go. But Arsenal are just a different level and I think they're just going to grind it out. Everton 1, Arsenal 2. I
know that worked for you last time and I probably should copy you, but I need to get different to make up the points, so I might go for an Arsenal 1-0. What I would say about Everton watching them play against Liverpool is that first half, I'd say, obviously by the challenge and should be down to 10 men, I thought they were the better team. And when they were going forward, they looked quite dangerous. Beto should have taken his chance, but he looked lively, to be fair. So if he could have another good game against Arsenal, who knows, they could get something. But I fancy Arsenal just to edge it. They've got Bukayo Saka back, so that's obviously a massive help for them. 1-0 Arsenal. 1-0
Arsenal. And do look out for the Champions League predictions video coming out on Sunday. Sophie, Arsenal take on Real Madrid.
Yeah, I know. Massive game. If they do that, their run's a little bit easier, but it's such a difficult hurdle they've got to overcome first. So.
Yeah, but it's a massive thing that they've got Saka back, as you say. The next game, Sophie, is between Crystal Palace and Brighton. It's a derby, of course. Both have got to be disappointed with their results on Wednesday night, Sophie. Brighton well beaten by Aston Villa. I mean, to be honest, it wasn't necessarily a 3-0 game, but Villa were just more efficient and ruthless. And Crystal Palace, okay, they scored a last-minute equaliser, but to not beat Southampton is not great, considering Southampton's record this season. So, not totally sure what to think. I mean, Palace have still got the FA Cup going on. Brighton will still think they can qualify for Europe via the Premier League. I'm going to go for a draw. I think, with Palace and Brighton, how many of the games have ended 1-1? I think if you have a look into the history of this fixture, in the last
1-1.
6 or 7 games, there's probably been about 3 or 4 1-1 draws.
That's what I was thinking anyway, before even knowing that.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 1-1. I think both teams are capable of winning it, so I'll go for a share of the spoils.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a reaction after last game. I know Palace didn't actually lose in the end, but to manage to just scrape a draw against Southampton isn't a good result. I was feeling 1-1 anyway, so I'm going to stick with it. I just see this one ending a draw.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do share your thoughts down below, guys. Go for a draw between Palace and Brighton. Next up, Sophie, this is a big one at Portman Road. Ipswich Town versus Wolves. It's 18th versus 17th. The problem is there is a 9-point gap between them. Obviously, Ipswich, Sophie, won at Bournemouth. I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think many people saw that coming. I think Benjamin Bloom actually did a video about they could win, and yeah, they actually did win, which was just insane.
Benjamin Bloom, clever guy. Yeah. The thing is, Sophie, Ipswich Town, that's their first league win in 2025. So it's been a long time coming, but they have to make it back-to-back wins now. They will have been frustrated to see that Wolves won in midweek as well. Wolves beat West Ham. The thing is, Sophie, most of the time Ipswich can't control what Wolves are going to do. But this week they can, because they can beat them and they can close the gap to 6 points. What do I think? Honestly, I'm not sure. I think naturally the table and performances this season make me think Wolves are slight favourites, but there's not a lot in it. I do think after that result in midweek, there will be a buzz around Portman Road.
Yeah.
And Ipswich have really got to go for it. They know a draw is no good. They have to go for it. They have to defend well. And obviously, this is the last game Wolves have without Cunha, which is an advantage for Ipswich. I think Ipswich might just do it.
Okay.
Ipswich 1, Wolves 0. And there is that little bit of me wanting there to be some excitement down at the bottom. So that's why I'm going for it as well. I will just back Ipswich, but look, Wolves have been pretty decent lately as well.
They have. I think they've turned a corner weirdly because they've been without Cunha. So I am going to back them to win. I think this is such a big game for both teams. So maybe it could end a draw, but I'm just going to go with who I think is performing a little bit better at the moment, and that's Wolves for me.
What's the score?
2-1.
2-1. And that would probably be the end for Ipswich, won't it?
Possibly, yeah.
They've given themselves a slim chance by beating Bournemouth, and they have to follow it up with a win here. They have to. Let us know your thoughts, Ipswich and Wolves fans. Next up, Sophie, we go to the London Stadium as West Ham take on Bournemouth. Both lost in midweek, Sophie. West Ham lost 1-0 to Wolves, as I predicted. I did get a few West Ham fans telling me off in the comments, and all I can say to them was I was right. As for Bournemouth, Sophie, they lost to Ipswich, which we didn't see coming, so...
We were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong. I'm going to actually go for West Ham.
Okay.
Let's build some bridges with the West Ham fans. I do like you guys, and I think there's an opportunity here. Bournemouth have just dropped off a little bit. I think they always tend to score, but they've been conceding a few too many for me.
Right.
And this might be one that Graham Potter is targeting. West Ham 2, Bournemouth 1. I think the home advantage is just doing it for me.
Yeah, this is another one where I could see it going either way. It depends who's going to turn up. I think on their day, Bournemouth edge it for me. So if they turn up, I think they'll do it. I'm going to back them to win 2-1.
2-1. Do you not think Bournemouth have dropped off a bit?
They have dropped off because they were performing really, really well and really consistent. So compared to those levels, they have dropped off.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, next up, Sophie, I am rubbing my hands together because it is Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Two absolute giants of the Midlands. Sophie, would it be fair to say it's the biggest club from the West Midlands versus the biggest club from the East Midlands?
Yeah, I think that is fair to say.
They're both European Cup winners, and there is the possibility, Sophie, that this could be the FA Cup final this year, which would be amazing. Sophie, Villa obviously beat Brighton 3-0.
Yeah.
Marcus Rashford's scoring goals now.
He is actually. I'd said before, like when Asensio came in, he's such a good player and he hit the ground running. But same for Marcus Rashford as well, so it's good to see him scoring and playing good football again.
Yeah, back-to-back 3-0 away wins. I've got to say I'm really impressed with that because they've gone up to Preston and then down to Brighton in a matter of days, and that's a lot of travelling. And they are back in Champions League action next week, so Villa fans, make sure you subscribe because I will be predicting your game against PSG, which I'm looking forward to. As for this one, Sophie, Forest keep winning. They beat Man United 1-0, and that defence is made of bricks and cement, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, last minute off the line clearance by Murillo. They all celebrated it like it was a goal, and I don't blame them because their defending sometimes is insane. And I say it pretty much every video, I just rate Sells so much in goal.
Yeah, if I was like a multi-billionaire and I could afford bodyguards, I'd get the Nottingham Forest defenders
the back line
to defend me. I am going to go for a draw. I think Forest are in a position where a draw here is not a bad result.
True.
And Villa probably have to win, but a draw's not totally terrible for them. I'll go 1-1.
Really torn on this one. I think it could either be a 2-1 to Villa or a 2-2. Do you know what? I'm actually going to back Villa. Sorry, Forest fans, but I just fancy them a little bit more right now. I know Forest have a couple of injuries, so maybe that could play a part as well. But it sounds daft saying that they're going to concede 2, but I just think Villa have that quality going forward that they can actually penetrate that Forest defence. So we'll see. But I'm saying 2-1 Villa.
I get that. I think with the home advantage and the fact that Villa are playing catch-up, they maybe need to win a bit more. Doesn't necessarily mean that they will, but I get your point.
Yeah.
Do let us know your thoughts. I love that fixture though, two proper old school clubs. Next up then, and we go down to West London, Sophie, Brentford versus Chelsea. We do have to bear in mind that Chelsea and Tottenham haven't played yet because we are recording this Thursday lunchtime. Brentford, Sophie, lost 2-1 to Newcastle as I predicted. Yep. I don't know, because we haven't seen Chelsea yet, I'm not sure. I might go for a draw. I think this game could be quite entertaining. You've got Brentford and Chelsea, who are both goal scorers and, you know, can concede a few. Let's go for a Desmond, 2-2.
Do you know what? I think I might back Brentford. I think I'm going for so many 2-1s this video, but I see a 2-1 playing out. I do see there being goals for both teams, but Brentford just edge it for me. So 2-1 Brentford. Yeah,
you think they can finish in the top 10, top 9?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, with Mbeumo and Visa.
Yeah.
I love those two.
Great players.
Yeah, but we will see. We will see what happens between Chelsea and Tottenham on Thursday night, of course, as well. On to the next one, Sophie. We have Fulham versus Liverpool. Liverpool, Sophie, 1-0 winners over Everton. I wouldn't say it was the best game of football, and it wasn't massively convincing, but they were efficient.
Yeah, I think when they went that goal up, the pressure was kind of eased off them and they were playing some really nice football. And I mean, it was a great goal by Jota. There might be some controversy saying, oh, Diaz was stood in an offside position, should that goal have counted? But he didn't actually make a play for the ball. So it's a tricky one. But I think when they got the goal, it kind of settled their nerves and they were playing better. But up until that goal, I think Everton was slightly the better team for me.
Yeah, and like I say, thankfully, McAllister didn't have to get stretchered off with that terrible challenge.
Dreadful.
Fulham lost 2-1 to Arsenal. They scored right at the end. It was sort of a consolation, I guess. I think Fulham are always capable of giving the top teams a good game.
Yeah.
But I think they might just fall short again. I'm going to go Fulham 1, Liverpool 2.
I might go for another Liverpool 1-0, to be honest. I think Alisson might be back in the sticks, but either way, they've got Kelleher, who is a great second-choice goalkeeper. But I don't see there being loads of goals in Liverpool games at the moment. They seem to keep it quite low scoring and then they don't seem to be firing loads past teams. And I think they sometimes struggle against Fulham because they can be a very, very good team against, as I say, the top 6. So Liverpool just edge it for me 1-0.
1-0. Yeah, that's it. Just keep sticking 3 points on the board.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
They're getting closer to winning that Premier League title, aren't they? The next one, Sophie, is between Tottenham and Southampton. Once again, Tottenham, because we're recording this Thursday lunchtime, we haven't seen what Tottenham have done against Chelsea yet. I don't think they're going to get anything in that game, but I think they will get the win in this one. Southampton, Sophie, I do want to give them some credit because they didn't lose, but they conceded a last-minute equaliser. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, when you think, oh my God, they're about to get 3 points on the board, and then they concede so late on, that is painful.
They're on 10 points. They need 1 more point to match Derby's record. 2 more points.
Was it to match? I thought they had 10.
They need 2 to get past it because Derby got 11 this season. 11 then. I think Spurs are going to win. I think there'll be a few goals. I'm going to go Tottenham 3, Southampton 1.
Yeah, I'm actually going for the same scoreline. I do fancy Southampton to get a goal, to be honest. And I thought for 90 minutes that was a really good performance from them. But yeah, concentration levels at the end. To be honest, I wasn't even expecting them to get a draw. So maybe some of their fans will be like, well, we still got a draw against a really solid Palace team. But it's just the fact that you've then dropped points rather than rescuing 1 and getting the equaliser themselves. But Tottenham on their day, they can be a very, very good team. It's just they're very inconsistent. So if they turn up 3-1, but I do fancy Southampton to score.
Yeah, okay, yeah, same as me. I think Southampton have got a goal in them, but never seem to keep clean sheets.
No.
And that's why you're not going to win games, I guess. Do let us know your thoughts. Sophie, the next one is the Manchester derby. Manchester United are at home to Manchester City, and to be honest, I don't know. Man City have obviously been better this season, but they've not been at their usual incredible standards, have they? And 2-0 against Leicester isn't very impressive, actually.
It's not. I thought it was going to be a lot more.
Well, I said 3-0, you said 4-0.
I said 4-0, and it was 2-0. But nice to see Grealish scoring, to be fair. The fact that he got like an early goal, I thought, oh, here we go, 4-0 is on. I don't know if they just took the foot off the gas a little bit and just coasted over the line with 2-0. I mean, you've got a clean sheet, you've got a couple of goals, it's comfortable. if you looked at the stats, it was just insane. I don't even think Leicester turned up, to be honest, but I mean, you could say that for most of their games recently under Rude. But yeah, Man City for me, the old Man City would have put maybe 5 or 6 past them.
We do have to factor in that they are missing Haaland.
Yeah, I think he's out for pretty much the rest of the season now as well.
Yeah, which could be a bit of a problem when it comes to those FA Cup games where they might need someone to win them a game. But I don't know, with this one, Sophie, I genuinely think Man United could pinch this. Don't forget, earlier this season, Man United stole the 3 points from Man City. It was Man City 1, Man United 2, and they scored 2 goals in the last 2 minutes. I will back Man United for a change. Man United 1, Man City 0. I think it might be a pretty poor game where there's not a lot going on, but maybe Man United have a Bruno Fernandes goal that just wins them the game from nothing.
Oh, do you know, I'm actually going to back Man City by 1 goal. I think this one could be a low-scoring one. I don't think Man United were at their best against Forest. They might turn up a little bit more in this game.
They put Harry Maguire up front.
Yeah, and he nearly rescued something for him, to be fair. It was rolling the dice that nearly paid off. But I don't know, if he starts up front in this one, that would just be insane. I don't see that happening. But for me, yeah, Man City 1-0.
Yeah, okay, so both going in opposite directions. Yes. Do let us know your thoughts. The final game then, Sophie, is between Leicester City and Newcastle United. Leicester lost 2-0 to Man City, as we just touched on, and Newcastle won 2-1 against Brentford, as I predicted. I think Newcastle are going to ride that wave of positivity from the Carabao Cup win all the way to the end of the season, and I do think they could get into that top 5 and stay there this season. Leicester, I mean, honestly, it's really difficult to back them to win because they keep losing.
Or even draw, to be honest.
But they don't even score.
No.
They don't know how to score a goal, man. Honestly. I mean, look, I know they played Man City last time and it's not an easy game, but look at that run of results.
I know.
It's awful. And I know Southampton are the worst team in the league, but at least Southampton got a draw last time.
True.
Leicester are in the worst form in the league. I will go pretty routine for Newcastle. Sorry, Leicester. I mean, I don't, I'm going to go 2-0.
Oh, I'm going 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think Newcastle, they can be ruthless when they want to, and they're coming up against Leicester, who don't even put up a fight, and that's why I think it could be quite convincing. So Newcastle 3-0 for me.
Yeah, so we're both pretty much similar on that. I'm saying 2-0, Sophie's saying 3-0. We both think Newcastle will get the win. And Leicester, I mean, they're going to be relegated for sure.
Yeah.
And there's a chance they could even get a points deduction when they come back to the Championship. So you kind of have a bit of sympathy for the Leicester fans, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because it's just not been fun to watch since Rude came in. And that was the whole reason in bringing him in. They're like, it's not been nice watching it under Cooper. How is it watching it now? It's a lot worse.
We said, didn't we?
Well,
we said.
Can't keep going on about it, but we did say.
There you go, guys. That wraps up the Premier League predictions for another week. Can I just say a massive, massive thank you for your support. Be sure to hit the like button. Let's go for 3,500. It literally takes 2 seconds. Get involved. If you haven't already subscribed, get involved. With this close to 95,000, with your great support, we can do it. So go on, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for joining me, Sophie.
Thank you.
We will see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.